Yo, what's shaking, kitty cats? It is 10:44 a.m. on a Monday. Hope you're all doing well out there. Paul is tuning in from sunny Maryland. It's freaking cold and raining and dark here in Portland today. Only light out there is this little one right here next to my face. Zendremic is here too. How you doing, homie? Echo Forge Studios here. That's Tom in the chat. If you're looking for someone to master your stuff, send it to Tom. But hello. Hope filming is going well over there, homie. Right. So, I'm going to stop the light, glimmering, magical sounding stuff. I think we're just going to make music today, I think. And it's funny that it happened to be dark and rainy out, because good day for it. Had some requests come through just for an old school music stream, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? We haven't done one of those for a while, and I'm feeling that. So let's do that. I think I'm going to drop this down to, let's start at 60 BPM here. Start kind of slow and low. Nice sunny 89 degrees Fahrenheit today, says Paul. Basement work just finished. Looks great. Hey! Big ups, dude. That's awesome. That's great. That's great news. So are you just like relaxing and looking around and soaking it all up, or what? Like, is that where you are right now? I'm not sure exactly what I want to start with. Instrument wise. So I think I'm just maybe going to pull up. Let's do two things. Let's pull up old school Massive, maybe? I know it's not that much fun to look at. But it sounds freaking fantastic. And that's really all that matters. Down in octaves by several. There we go. All right, let's start from scratch. And start very low. Man, I haven't used Massive in a minute. All right, we're gonna start with this this guy over here. See if I can remember where all the buttons are. Let's bring this all the way up, and we'll just bring it way down. We're not gonna sync this. This is just gonna be a basic sine wave. I don't think I want a C. That B. Oh, nice, Paul. Yeah, we missed you on Friday, but all good. Wow. Wow, that's awesome. Basement is now a bedroom, ready for a college kid to move down there. That's awesome, dude. It's great. Ooh. See, a big house shuffle, it works out for everyone. You can you can put your music gear in a brand new arrangement, bring some stuff up to the surface that you haven't touched in a while. In it, welcome in. All right, so what was I thinking? F maybe? Or B? I don't know. We'll pick one of these and we'll just move forward, right? What are we doing here? Let's turn off this metronome. All right, cool. We've got a note in here, and we'll make that note go boom for a while. Let's say we're going to want this thing to run for at least 32 bars. Get a decent amount of modulation in there before we ask it to do anything else. Logic newbie coming from Reaper. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, feel free to ask questions. We're normally focused on something specific, production-wise here. Do a ton of library work and stuff. And today we're just gonna make some kind of dark ambient thing. Some sort of cinematic flair to it. I have no idea what it's going to be. Could end up being a whole soundtrack for all I know. All right, let's get into this and maybe into kontakt next, huh? All right, if I remember correctly, it's actually envelope 4. No, it is. It does all the magic here. All right, cool. Let's get a little bit of filter in here. And it feels good to play around a massive after not having touched it for so long, actually. I'm going to put a double filter thing into action. I'm going to put a comb on one and a scream on another. I know they're both a little abrasive at times, but this kind of droney little bit down here, I'd like for it to just kind of run and be generative in the background, something that's just kind of spitting out little spooky happy accidents in the background while we work with some kind of top layer, higher frequency content, probably inside of kontakt. Going to keep this over here to the side for a second while I set my range. right, so I am going to set up a couple more LFOs here. I'm going to set one on the pitch. And we're just going to set that. Here. Bring down our rate. Set this as just a basic sine wave for now. And we're going to set our first LFO to mess with our feedback here. And a third one yet to apply some changes to our damping. Okay, so it sounds all right. We'll move down to mix 2 really quick and set up our scream. I forget there's a Logic newbie in the room today. I should poke my head over to the chat a little bit more often and see if there's questions coming in. Oh, nice. Messing with some Swedish gear. Lion audio. What are you filming today, Tom? Okay, so right in here, we're gonna play with same LFOs, slightly different configuration over here. Okay, so we've got this kind of muffled feedback resonance, right? Okay, cool. So we'll kind of oscillate between these two here-ish. Send this through a filter here, huh? Or, I mean, through a verb, rather. Mm. Keep this fairly dark here. What's up, Liv? How you doing? Happy Monday. twin Twin F. Okay, so we've got this little thing. It'll run in the background. Let's put a instance of let's do kontakt in here. I need to spend some time rebuilding my plugin folders inside of Logic. I have I think a way that I'd rather see them laid out. I need to spend the time to do that. Let's grab something. Let's grab something organic and crunchy and what? Some field recordings, maybe. Maybe we should go into external drive land and that one's kind of interesting. It's an old clock. It's being wound. Let's bring that into kontakt here and see if we can mess it up a little bit, huh? All right, I think we could probably loop this in a way that feels right. Yeah, I'm going to start building this up. I know it's a pretty quiet sound right now. I think we're just going to stop and grab a note here. I'll keep that going for a little while. We'll worry about how long and stuff later. let's get let's get more Finder window open. One more Finder window open here. That's what we need. I'm thinking some sort of a little creature, perhaps. Let's see if I can find. I've got some old recordings of one of my old dogs. Something like that might be good. Why am I not seeing them? Background music, please. Ludi, how you doing? Acitor, how you doing, man? Welcome in. Man, people coming out of the woodworks on a Monday. All right, so I was just in the middle of looking for some old recordings. I really don't want to spend a bunch of time looking for them. Let's see here. Okay, maybe I don't have them here. You know what? Just bring them in from something else. Bengal tiger. Maybe a bit much here. Yeah, that seems a little aggressive. That's not what I'm looking for. That's a little bit better. That's really short. But okay, let's just try a couple things. Let's bring it directly into the DAW here. Let's drop it here. And just to run a quick test on it. It's not the right tone, but this is... Actually, it's not that far off if we were to just shape it here a little bit. We could totally make something like that work. We just need to print some stuff to audio so I can see where the peaks are and some other things. So let's keep that. Let's also bring in I need another synth track. Let's bring in just like a little high pitched squealy kind of something. Let's make that in Serum really quick. And just like a little slightly changing kind of almost fragile FM kind of thing. That sounds about right. All right, let's do just got a bunch of custom wavetables here. I'm going to load up some of these and let's do basic mini on this and find let's bring this down an octave. Let's FM into that from B. Sorry, that's a little harsh. Okay, we're going to scan through this. Let's go ahead and trigger that, and we're just going to put that here. And we need another one. Let's unsync that and just bring it down. And we need another one. It's going to be managing our FM here. I get to like a mellow hysteresis here, if you will. And let's bring that down as well. Okay, it's probably going to be somewhere up here. We can filter that down, and then we'll just kind of disclose that. So we'll need a different shape for this filter, tighter. All right, something like this. Let's get this back in here. Hey, Saf is here. What's up, Saffron? Yeah, maybe something like that. Okay, so let's get that roughed up in the right way so it actually kind of fits our little theme here. We'll figure out our modulation here in a little bit. For now, put on like a 4-bar. We'll put a little distortion in here. Do a little sine fold. Bring it way back. And then let's also just flip the tonal part of this entirely. I know it's harsh. Thanks for bearing with me here. All right, let's hear the soundscape so far here. Okay, cool. Let's give this just a little bit of glitch machines off to the side here. Let's go XT. Let's just find something simple here. All right, let's bring that back in. Okay, so we've got our little digital glitchy kind of element. Let's go ahead and just record in a few seconds of that so we don't lose track of that. Okay, cool. So we've got little low guttural growly thing. We've got a little digital sizzle. We've got some weird little knocks. Shall we grab some dialogue? Should we use a little bit of dialogue? Maybe some slightly unintelligible. Oh, are we hating on social media right now? That's awesome. I love hating on social media. Oh, Tom, take care. Good luck out there. Threads is turning into the Twitter that was, huh? That'd be interesting to see. It works. I think it kind of needs to be up just a little bit more, but I like where it is, and I kind of like the glitch processing. What's up, Danny? So I think to get into the right spot, we get a pitch shifter involved, and we get rid of the latency, and we bring it up like I think what it is actually, you know what, is probably just a simple matter. Have I saved this project yet? I have not. Let's do that. This is 7/29/24. All right, so let's just go ahead and print that really quick. And I think what I really want is just to gear this up. So if we take this and we shift this up a good octave or so, that's way too artificial sounding. It seems stretched. Okay. We'll reapproach. Yeah, we'll just reapproach that. Doing all right, Danny. All right, so I want to do two different things here. Bring in one more thing from the old school massive world. Oops, not mono. I think I actually want stereo on this. I think. And it's in one of my older packs. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Aftertouch control in the original Massive is just so good. You can just get into such wonderful, wonderful dark little places. Not always dark, but right, I'm just gonna um, record something here quick with some aftertouch so I can go back and play with it and listen. Okay, so now that we've got that recorded in there and go back and listen to it, kind of see the aftertouch information here. And I can go in, I can start playing with some of these macros built in. Yeah, I think this is kind of more what I want for the bed element, actually. So let's tidy this up a little bit. Let's bring this out, and there's this really nice kind of percussive element to it there right at the beginning. Just kind of a nice way to kick this whole thing off. And then also, it makes me want to have just a little bit of percussive tension in there, I guess. Aftertouch is underappreciated. It's true. Danny says, you've inspired me to try out making a custom skin for a serum. Oh, nice. Nice. Syndremic is asking, I'm curious, OhmLab, no need to answer if it's too personal, but have you landed any work from streaming here? Um, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not streaming for gathering work. It's more of a place to take breaks, but yeah. There have been folks that have just kind of appeared in streams and then ended up having albums mixed or mastered, or taken sessions, or had like custom sounds made, or whatnot. I think there's been maybe a podcast interview or two that have popped up. Yeah, there have been two different interviews, a couple things here and there. Yeah. I guess I do like the tonality of it. I think I just want different versions of this. So I think we'll probably end up making just a few of these little kind of skitsy, glitchy, digital little bits. Okay, let's see if we can bring in this kind of groany type thing and decide if we want another one too. Well, it definitely doesn't fit in any kind of space, so let's put it into a space. Oh, Lou D brought something by, didn't he? Lou D, you still out there? kind of tracking this conversation too in the chat. I feel like social media uh, kind of deserves the name that it has now. I don't know that it did once upon a time, just like I don't think that news feed is the appropriate thing to call everybody's banter. But I do think that um, like what Danny's saying, you get out of it what you put into it, you or expect out of it. Like it's true up to a point if you're trying to accomplish uh, things on the monetary mean side of things. It has quickly become um, a house of sand and fog in a way, right? In the same way that media in general has become kind of a warped lens uh, for most people because it is built in such a way that the audience um, needs to stay audience, right? And the things experienced through media, through the lens of media, are largely out of reach, within scope, but out of reach. Something to tune into, something to um, strive for, but maybe not necessarily achieve all that easily. You really got to pay to play. And the the modern landscape of marketing is it's an expensive battlefield, really. Uh, it is like trying to um, have a steady presence um, really requires uh, not just persistence, but access, right? And so much of the access is denied without money being involved. So there is this kind of upfront requirement for investment if you're actually looking for growth through social media. And a lot of people don't talk about it that are accomplishing it because they don't want to have their fame or success be um, thought of as like transactional in any way. Um, but of course it is. Like it's a business, but I think there's just a lot of layers of complexity that are quickly removed through monetary means. Yeah. I think that once you've built up a good following and you have engagement, it becomes easier. But anyone that runs a successful community or large audience on any of the main social platforms will tell you that by and large, you kind of have to pay to play still. You post something, you have to boost it until you reach like that kind of top tier tipping point where um, it's more beneficial for the platform to let people with a greater abundance of followers have more direct lines of engagement with that audience. It's kind of convoluted, but it is shaped to work that way. So it's not something that is as achievable as it first seems. You know how when you look in the side view mirror in the car and it says like objects may appear closer than they actually are or farther away? I forget what it is, right? But it's basically like dangling a carrot in front of the horse and using some sort of optical illusion. It makes it look like 6 inches closer than it actually is, right? Or like how lighting and mirrors used to be adjusted in just such a way in dressing rooms and department stores that you looked really great in pretty much everything you tried on, right? Um, yeah. Anyway. Anyway. Yeah, I think that Zendremic right there, like if people expected to get out of it just the basic level stuff, I think people would be happier and probably compare a lot less, which I think is kind of a darkness in social media, personally. Because it's also curated, you know what I mean? There's like a delete button and edit button, you know what I mean? I don't know. You pick and choose what to post. Word. People do use platforms for different reasons. It's a fact. It is a fact. All right, so we've got a little bit of mood. We need something to follow. And that's right. Well, that's obnoxiously loud. We're going to go in there and we're going to edit our aftertouch into something that's more agreeable. It's not that one, this one. And aftertouch. So let's just bring these guys down here. And maybe we'll just have a few nice swells out here. All right, Logic, you got to come up just a little bit. I like how rhythmic this one gets when the aftertouch is being applied. Liv says it's a mirror that's been idolized as a facade. Are you familiar with Black Mirror? With the series Black Mirror? It's really quite good. If you guys have not tuned into it, I really do highly recommend doing so. It's really fantastic. I mean, it's unsettling to see all of this stuff like foretold, but all of this stuff that's happening has been foretold in this show. It's really quite something. It's really something. It puts a spotlight on everything, and all of those things that everyone knows but doesn't actually say out loud. As like big, pretty important things that are rather detrimental. Those are all kind of at the heart of this show. It's really something. Oh yeah, the social credit episode of Black Mirror. Absolutely. It is chillingly prophetic, but also it's just like this is what happens when you ignore the voice inside your head, the red flags, the unsettling worries, all of that. Like this is what happens. Yeah, yeah. I think Paul says true success in music is getting paid not to play. That's actually so true. That's actually true. It's getting paid for all of the times when you're not like on stage or in front of a microphone. That's so true. Oh, that's so true. It's painfully true. Truly. Oh, I have no idea where we're going from here on this one. But I'm going to loop it for a second. I'll be right back. Zendremic's headphones have said goodnight. He's still currently saying good morning, though. Cool, okay. Other instance. Contact you. Oh, you know what I don't have turned on in this, I don't think. Oh, good. It is turned on. Okay, let's get these. This is way up there. You know, it might be kind of interesting in a little piece like this is taking some like highly textured string stuff, like a horse fiddle or something like that, and then bringing that way down, um, at least a couple octaves out of its normal range, right? So you're really zoomed in on those textures, right? Um, Bounce a little recording of this, and then start playing with stretching it in different ways. Kind of bring this kind of scrapey, shifty quality to things. Yeah, Liv, I learned a lot of things doing recruiting and stuff. Like I've owned different businesses through the years. I was in hospitality. I was a classically trained chef for many years. I was in hospitality for quite a while. And it dawned on me one day that it's not just something specific to hospitality, but there's just this huge amount of cost of carrying employees around. There's just a lot of overhead. There's the stuff that you think about, like health benefits, um, pay, right? Overtime, stuff like that. And then there's also a bunch of stuff that you don't think about as much. Um, like long-term cost of turnover, the cost of advertising and marketing to attract candidates, and um, cross training into different departments versus outsourcing. And it quickly became apparent to me that there's like just this huge area that people could save money, right? And I was like, oh, we could, I guess, work with money for a little while instead of food. So I kind of zeroed in on this thing. I realized that I could give the employees more money than they're being paid. I could give those employees to employers at a cheaper rate than they were currently paying themselves, and I could still get a cut out of it. There'd still be money left over. That's how much extra money is caught up in all of that. Anyway, long story short, one of the things that I learned was that people just aren't happy in jobs in general, and that it takes a long time to figure out what actually makes you happy in life, and it also um, it comes down to life being life. Like you never really know what's going to come next, and there's all sorts of curveballs. You might be working for a company that goes out of business. You might be working for a place for 20 years and get canned, or your partner might become incredibly ill, and you have to begin taking care of them, or whatever. There's so many different things. Anyway, once you kind of derail with a job, whether it be burnout or change of employment or whatever, things change. And oftentimes, an opportunity will present itself in one of those moments. And sometimes it's not a great deviation from the path that you were on, but there is a deviation. And now you have a slightly different trajectory. And that can happen a couple few times. And even the people that are incredibly passionate about the thing that they went to school for, they like began their career path on, they're very laser focused, they end up going in these slightly different directions. Um, it's just kind of the way that it works. That said, though, there are a lot of people out there, a lot of people that are just trying to find a bit more like satisfaction and happiness at the end of the day. They don't really feel like they have um, like a career change in them, or like any kind of like huge, fantastic ideas that could lead to their own business or patent or anything like that, right? So they're just like, I'm going to change offices. Um, that's a real thing. And moving from one corporate job to another, like working in a desk, moving from one building to another, working in a different industry also counts for some of that um, change number. But yeah, people change a lot. Business is hard. Business is hard. You have to adapt. It's just like any other part of life. I mean, really, it's people have made it. Hmm, people like to feel important, and they like to use words that validate their endeavors. Right? Like it really is just that simple. Um, it's just surviving and doing the stuff that you like to do. If everybody like really kind of treated it that way, then I think people would stay on a single path more often throughout the years. And to be quite frank, once family enters the scene, you can't participate in a lot of the options, career options that were options previously, because you have greater responsibility, greater financial responsibility, and you kind of age out of um, certain industries almost entirely. At the very least, you kind of age out of roles, you know, management versus staff, and so on and so forth. It just happens. It just happens. Paul says, agree. Terrible salesman and hustler here. All right, so I was saying just a few minutes ago that, like, what if we took something like some horse fiddle and something else highly textured, and then we bring that way down and we record some of that, and then we stretch that too, so it's out of its normal state a couple of times over, and there's a lot of grit to grab onto along the way. So let's pull up something. I have no idea. Let's randomize. Lores is huge and it takes forever to load stuff. All right, well, first things first, let's just take this out of its normal comfort zone entirely, and then we'll randomize that. Uncertainty is um, like it's at the root of anxiety, and I think that everything has been pushed to this kind of extreme. When, gosh, this makes me sound old when I say stuff like, when I was younger, there were some kind of natural safety nets in play, in that life, it didn't cost you as much to exist. There's this moment 6, 7 months ago where I said something as we were just kind of like moving through our day. And Nikos, it has this moment where full stop, and he's like, wait, are you telling me that when I grow up, it's going to cost me just to live? And I was like, whoa, yeah, when you put it that way, yes. So now it costs so much just to live that you don't really feel like you can take a full deep breath unless you have the ultimate safety net, which is some form of wealth, right? Um, I mean, it was easier. It was easier to have less money, not that many years ago. So of course, there's a ton of anxiety around uncertainty, and it does make it harder uh, to trust. But it really is true that if you continue to do what you like and you continue to include others in that, then all of you are coming up in age and forward in your trajectory over the years together, which means through all of you, through collaborative, vicarious efforts, um, new opportunities will arise, And as long as you continue to kind of feed the health of the group, then everybody is coming up together. It works better in small bubbles, in small groups. It's really, really hard as like a nation of many, I think. But if you do that on the local level, with some folks that you work well with, um, then it's almost a degree of inevitability, right? The perseverance pays off because you've all poured yourselves into this thing or all of these things that are bigger than just you, right? And collaboration requires a lot of justification and validation along the way, right? You're not going to do all of these things if it isn't needed, right? So it also kind of keeps you on the path of relevancy and all of that kind of stuff too. Centremic says, I hang out in large groups of me. Yeah, bad at socializing is a thing. That's where I think, and this is where like things start to get a little bit twisted in that whole feels of anxiety and uncertainty and stuff. That I think that this is where some of the benefits of AI come in, right? Is that you can have someone next to you in a way, right, that you could bounce these ideas off of and get an immediate response. And to be quite frank, right, we can probably all look back on all sorts of even pivotal life moments, but just life moments in general, where someone was there across from us and there was this exchange and it resulted in this decision being made and moving forward. And, oftentimes it could be anybody in that other position because this is your life, this is your path, right? Um, yeah, all of the AI tells me to see a doctor. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is part of the problem, Paul, is the move away from the safety nets that we had and putting it all into the 401k system is just it does work for some, and it really doesn't work for others. Yeah, so Zentremic, basically what happened in America many years ago is that some fat cats with ties to Washington said, hey, what if we kill a couple of birds with one stone here? What if we don't have to continue carrying the cost of retirement for these people that we employ through the ages and help build our businesses? And we can reinforce the economy directly. And so here's um, a a way to invest in the stock exchange in different businesses with your money that you're earning. And if you can do well in that, um, then you will grow money over time and you will have more money waiting for you when you retire. And buying into this system also means buying into agreeing to penalties if you take money out early, because the system itself is kind of gamed in a way to grow over time in a positive way with the economy as long as it grows in a positive way over time. So nothing's for certain, but it's a way to, um, in theory, adjust for cost of living and that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's a shifting target and it's not as easy for the large majority of people as it is for those who normally have really good access to stable employment and the ability to vote in all of the elections, not just the presidential elections. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, Social Security became a thing. It is a thing. Yeah, it was nice though to have gainful employment and know that like you could see how much money was going into your retirement account in every single check. Every single check, you could just see it growing. And even as a teenager, like thinking like that money is going to be there for me, and then all of that just disappeared. Yeah, but you got to play the games that are within the systems that you're operating in. So save your money. Yeah, that's right. It there. That's it right there, Paul. Absolutely. I think I think we're kind of inevitably moving toward some form of universal income because the system has become so incredibly ill-weighted and convoluted. It's not as simple as finding out you now need a job, now go out and get another job. It's just not that simple. There's so many things wrapped up in it now. UPI or Soylent, what future has for us, or maybe both. It'll probably be both, right? I mean, profitability, sir. Screw all that safety first stuff. Now, this right here, if this right here had, here, let's just put a reverb on it really quick. Bear with me here. And then we have a fair bit of saturation on it. So, Liv, here's the thing. Here's the thing is that those individuals still exist within a society. And if they do try to go in that direction, there won't be a society in which they can actually exist. There has to be a framework in which they plug into. They can't be their own um, nation, right? And they can't be sovereign in that way. Um, so there is power in that. Like, for instance, if Zuckerberg decided to make some power plays, right, to whatever degree in whatever direction that upset people here, just in the United States and nowhere else, people are so reactionary and aware of the specific power they have as users online that they would withdraw from said platform in mass, and then they would begin campaigning uh, to make sure others withdrew en masse, and they would, right? Because there is this kind of power. And now, what is the option to like fight against that, right? Like the platform owner can shut it down, right, or restrict access or what, but that's like that runs contrary to what they need because that's their lifeblood. They need that for money. So yeah. So Dremic, Saf, I think a lot of people and growing in number all the time right now are kind of in a similar situation. Okay, like this right here is feeling just all sorts of and if we, and this might be really stupid, but what if we threw just even more? This will sound really awful at first, so let's bring this way down here. Ooh. Yeah, we just lose that clarity right there. That's really nice. I'm going to, let's record this. Let's do that again at a higher velocity because that was different. Okay, so I'm going to take that. And let's make sure we capture the entirety of it. It's 25. Yeah, that's probably plenty. We're going to print that in place and then start stretching this thing. I think that um, most people, being humans, are programmed to, when healthy, feel rather inspired to get up and affect change around us. When we start to feel kind of, depressed or anxious or something else that takes us out of that, I think that's why um, people around so easily identify folks that begin to slip out of those kind of energetic, kind of innovative mindsets. Ooh, yeah, with these sudden drops and that kind of blown out phase distortion awesomeness. All right, let's take this. We're going to do a speed stretch here, and we're just going to say, let's more than double it. See what happens here. Yeah. Take a transient master and round off. see how short I can get away with this. It's a pretty ugly, awful sound, right? Let's shape that now for fitting in the greater mix of things. And find a spot for it over here. Just gonna cram it in here for a second, see what it sounds like. Oh, these guys. I need to do something with these guys. These are the original recordings here, which actually do sound pretty cool in there. All right. It's definitely not a manning up thing. You're playing with polar bears. Love that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Syndremic is filling our cup over here. He's saying, fun fact, polar bears don't actually drink Coca-Cola. The F, man. Are you saying that the Coca-Cola Corporation has lied to us, Zendremic? Because in their commercials, we can clearly see that not only they consume Coca-Cola, but they enjoy it. Like it's not against their will. Man. What next? there's proof of the larger conspiracy at play right there. The polar bears drinking Coke in the commercials, yet not in real life. All right, so let's should we put this into some sort of a shape here? Like actually turn this into a thing? We've got some sounds for a little palette here. Let's see. Mechanical sounds, is that right? Yes, it is. Okay. We still need something a little brighter than this, so we're going to take this one way down. This guy we need to cream out to a certain extent because it does have these kind of sharp drops, and I want to keep those, but I also want to smooth out the effect of them. So we're just going to take and put some form of heady delay in here. Oh my gosh. What happened to the gazelle? The gazelle was cut short. What just happened? Man, people behind the conspiracy, probably. Miguel! Big love. How you doing, homie? How's Brazil? Ruining whatever health you have with your daily Coca-Cola. Oh, doing good. Better now. It's good to see you, homie. Every time you come in, I mentally get the image of your big you and your big smile, and it makes me feel a little bit better on the inside. Just want you to know that. Miguel, by the way, is capable of enormous hugs. If any of you need a virtual hug. Iron Imp is here. Okay, so then we had this mechanical stuff come in. I want to bring in another layer of some kind of mechanical stuff. I also want to bring our aftertouch element around. Oops, a couple of times. Let's undo that, and instead we'll copy it. And we had a little static charge kind of thing. I would like to build a couple more of those. So there's going to be kind of this blend of digital and organic, I guess. Cooking in this thing, apparently. You're releasing new music this week. That's great. That's fantastic. That's awesome. Oh, I totally put that down here. Let's figure out that delay really quick. Get in front of one of those big bumps. Something a bit more dramatic. Maybe not that dramatic. Let's find something a little less dramatic. Ooh, that brings like a saw kind of feel to it. This feels like maybe. Might be a little too heady, but we'll see. Miguel, feel free to put a link here too. And in the Discord, spam it. Okay, so there's some interesting weird phase stuff happening here, but I mean, aside from that, this feels like it could work and might be worth sharing. Let's find our next element over here. Bet me go. Oh, you know what we could use in here? Maybe to keep it simple and interesting. Furnace grates. All right, I think I want like maybe a 2-bar here. Something like that. And we'll put this in here for that. Like that. Okay, so we got this 2-bar. Have it come in. Get our structure worked out here in a sec. Okay, so actually maybe a little bit of space between these. I do kind of like it as a recurring pulse. So if we set this here, it's 2, we skip 2. See what this feels like. Okay, so I like this alternating 2 bars on, 2 bars off, and we're just going to put a little delay in here. Do a little stereo delay. A crossfeed. Okay, cool. That all sounds pretty big and intimidating. And let's bring in something. Definitely not a Bengal tiger. Let's bring in something kind of crunchy. Um, what about maybe something kind of crunchy, and then we could move into a completely different space here in just a second. Let's do that. Just see what I have in here under crunchy. Um, some crunchy bell peppers. Let's see. Pistachio shells, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's bring this pistachio shell in. I know it sounds strange. You just gotta trust the process. Feeling a little better. This feels even better still. So let's do a couple of things here. I'm not gonna mess internally with too much stuff just to get this done quickly. Take out the low end. That's fine. We don't need it to be any more than that. And let's put a delay in here. I think we're going to start with the simple stereo delay, and then we will play just a little bit later with a little granular on this. So let's go with something kind of basic here. Okay, now let's get back into Kontakt and let's do a couple of things. So we're just going to loop, set up a little loop cohort here. And we're also going to just get in here with a release. Okay, so I'm now going to just record some of this in there. It's right here. Ben is here. What's up, nanowires? Yeah, it's probably good. We're gonna just scoot this over, and we'll bring this over to, let's say, 32 bars. Add just a smidge more velocity here, and then we're just gonna spice this up. Let's do saturation here, and solo this for just a sec. Let's tighten up this EQ so it sounds a little more critter-like. Oh, it's not quite in key, is it? Let's try this. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Iron out. Love it. Yeah, I love synthesizing all of my own stuff. Even the stuff that sounds like real world stuff. I'm still quite proud of my noises collection, which is all of these really fantastic sounds, even the sounds of like hard drives failing, but all of it was meticulously crafted by hand. So, yeah, I love that kind of stuff. Trying to get as close to physical as possible and then deviating. Ooh, that does sound like a good read. I don't know. Eclipse, welcome in. We might pause and listen for a minute. I doubt Ludi is in here right now, huh? Because if Ludi is still here, we gotta listen. I just realized that we've been going for a while and I never did that. Never listened. Ludi, are you still here? Oh, by the way, want to mention, just because love, you, whether you're subscribed or not, you can watch as much video on demand as you like on Twitch right now. Yay! Share it with friends. And also, if you are subbed, the trinkets collection is the free sounds this month. So get over to Discord and grab your free sounds. That's it. Discord, please. And if Ludi says they're here, then I'll jump and listen to that too. Oh, it's actually, man, it's almost 1 o'clock already. Okay, going to Discord. Going to Discord. Where are we? Public feedback. Ludi. Let's listen. Let's listen to see what Ludi's been up to. Because I do have a session at 2 o'clock today, so I don't want to miss out on these. Ludi. Let's do this. Complex. Drum complex. Precise. Yeah, this is such a great um, mix and balance and everything. The only thing I think is the loudness and how it's affecting the kind of hats to mid highs range is just a little prickly up there um, in spots. Everything. Yo, Eclipsey, I love this, and I love the simplicity of it. Also, um, wait, what is this? Retrievers, retriggers. The retriggers on these, on the vocal chops, I feel like they could be slightly randomized in really subtle ways. And if you put um, a couple of modulators into play here, it could totally introduce something really, really neat. And it doesn't even have to be acute. Yo, respect the gazelle. The gazelle made it all the way through the leap that time. It did sound a little bit cut off there at the end, though. What's up, acute? How you doing? Um, anyway, small amount of randomness. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the timing structure that changes. It could actually be like a little bit of like slip editing, if you will, where you're changing the sample start position or you're changing the number of um, stutters in each retrigger, right? So you can actually keep the same kind of meter and everything to stay within um, like your original concept and everything. But if you were to just subtly vary the way in which that singular sample is being delivered over time, I think it would be a little bit more entertaining and captivating, and definitely much more engaging, because now we're tuning in a little bit more closely to make sure we catch all of the little differences we hear in it. And in a simple track like this, I feel like that kind of stuff is everything, right? Because we're kind of riding on that one sample. So really like the understated transition. I like the entire palette that you're working with. I personally, I work on the retrigger complexity interest curve there. Still want to mess around with the organization of the whole track, but I think the sound selection is pretty good right now. Yeah, I do too. I would encourage you to not worry about if it's missing elements right now, and really dial in the stuff that you do have. There is a little bit of a desire for me for there to be kind of a counterbalance, kind of call and response element, in that if you were to take that vocal sample and copy it down a track and bring it down, an octave, maybe even another track below that, another octave down, or something like that, just for the simple purpose of bringing a little bit more rhythmic play to it. Because you can sometimes use these kind of chase notes, if you will, to bring a little groove to something that's a little more rigid. Yeah, you bet. Glad it vibes with you. Hope it helps you make it even better. Cute says, nobody saw me slide in. I used the MGS cardboard box method. That's nice. That's nice. Paul, take care. I think we're going to be heading in that direction as well after this one from Acute, which, by the way, look at this art, you guys. Look at this art. This is something. This one is currently being called I'd Rather Patrol the Mojave than waste another breath arguing with. That's great. I'm looking forward to this one. Appreciate you, Cute. Yo, acute. This is so good. I love how unique it is. Like how unique this palette is. It's super progressive, um, and quite funky. Um, yes, I noticed the accordion. Of course I did. I'm glad that makes you happy. There's a couple of accordions in this household, so and they're played regularly, so I can't miss it. I feel like there has to be breakdancing happening somewhere because of this. Um, Several different times I was wishing there was a little bit greater separation, and I think what's driving this is a couple of things. The more kind of sustained elements that are meant to be supportive and background have been brought up to a loudness through the loudening, let's call it, like, right, the limiting. Um, if we were to bring those down in the mix position, proactively, this will all feel a little bit better. Anything that has this kind of constant din in the mix, we can kind of bring down, and then that way you're not going to feel as though the other things need to be pushed quite as much, and then that's going to give you a little bit more reclaimed dynamic space, and then you can use that reclaimed dynamics um, in a number of different ways. But I think that finding greater separation between the lead instruments when in play is really the thing that could improve this the most, I think, right? So picture this, okay? Right now, there's kind of a layer cake happening right now, and there's not a lot of cake in between layers of frosting, if you will, right? Um, and so you've got a whole bunch of things that are like really close, like this, and these are the leads right here, and these are your supportive elements right below them. And if you could increase the size of the layer between these guys, now it's better understood by us, the listener, that those are the lead elements, and all of this is just supporting that. It's not part of the thing I'm supposed to be chasing. It's part of this kind of melange, right? But now we need to have, instead of these two lead elements kind of here, we need to have them more like this, right? And maybe they teeter totter a little bit back and forth, right? During the call and response, there's actually a little bit more volume automation happening. But this right here is representative of the stereo distance between them, right? So although these two elements might be very similar in nature, so you've kind of panned them or grouped them in a similar way, I think panning them with greater separation is probably what this calls for right now. If you were to kind of apply that logic throughout this track and make an A/B comparison and listen through, I think it'll be a little bit easier to focus on all of the melodic stuff that there is to tune in to in this one. Um, so yeah, greater separation. Kick down a touch. It feels a little dominant. Also, I'd shave a little bit off the lowest frequencies. It feels kind of electronic mixed, and it doesn't really need as many low frequencies in the kick. I think that it will help your use of sub bass stand out a little bit better in the mix as well. Snare down a bit just in tandem with the kick. Horn pad and the FM lead that comes in 128. These two really kind of felt much louder than they needed to be, and it felt outside of the scope of the rest of the project, so I figured it was worth mentioning them. And then the stabs here at 142, I just felt like you could be doing something slightly different with them over time, like a ramp up of volume to kind of bring us to that transition point or something. Great full mix moment here at 207, just really good energy. Less saturation on the sax, I think. I know it's weird to hear me say less saturation. 303, even if you shave off a little bit of the lowest frequencies on the kick, like mentioned up here, I think it still might be a little boomy for this one. It might be worth like doing a more obvious filter play on the kick in this section or something. I don't know. More greater separation. Called out the accordions. Already talked about the pads. Yeah, I think that's it. Segwave umbrella. This is going to be huge because I don't think my normal style of mixing works anywhere near as well for this stuff. Yeah, so here's the thing. Yeah, it is a secret feedback segment, and then I got a boogie because I got sessions. But we'll get through it. With a new sound comes the need for a new way of delivering said sound. So here's what I would say is get to the point where you feel like you found your dynamics again and it's being delivered mostly in the way that you want it. And then hit save and walk away from it for a couple of days. And then when you come back, just have the mantra play in your mind, right? Like how can you make it playful, right? How can you translate the playful energy even more in what you've accomplished in your mix? And I think you're probably going to get to this kind of lively, colorful place because this is a pretty eclectic mix of stuff happening here. I think it's just going to require a little bit more movement and automation and a little bit more bold and definitive decision making for everything to really, really pop. Kyan, no, dude, no, don't pull out. All right, Martin, dude, I haven't even hit play yet, and it's really good to hear you. I hope you're well. Hope you're feeling good. Martin says, I think we're going to call this final. No idea how to fix the vocal at this point. It's called ID. It has been a while, man. I hope you're all right. Much love to you, Acute. Appreciate you. The tome of Ohm indeed does grow.
I need to hold you. It's true that I let you down. Is it worth it what I feel? To find out you're not around. I need it to find something true. I see it when I look in your eyes. I feel it that you got nothing that I want. You don't mean nothing to me.
Martin, this is great. It feels so good. I bring the vocal echoes up a touch at 158. I feel like the entire tandem could come up. I think at 1 minute the root note of the horn, when it happens on that initial downbeat there, I think it could be accented and that it could become kind of a focal point of sorts. It'd be cool if it rang out like maybe 4 or 5 dB louder than all of the rest of it. Not happy about these vocals, man. At this point, I might call it and in the vault forever. Like the drops, the vocal does not feel like it's a fit. Is it because they are so on the surface, and not being touched as much, or do you feel like it's more of a just an overall alignment issue? I think it's a mixed thing. It's more vocal range. Yeah, yeah. Well, I like the track. Audition some different vocals in there. I know you've probably written all around it, but you have tried, I'm sure. I love the track as well. Yeah, I know. It's a good feeling track. I feel you. I feel you. Collab is with a duo with a vocalist on it. That makes it so much harder. Send it back to him and say, take a few weeks. See if they get inspired to lay down something different. It feels bad, man. Yeah. In 4 months. Oof. Oh, yeah, those. Yeah. Yeah. We've all had those. Man. Where you just want to like cut and run, but at the same time you're like, oh, there's like people on the other side of this. It's hard to cut and run. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm glad you're healthy, dude, and I hope that the muse bites you in the butt soon. Kyan. Thank you as always, sir. Kyan, let's do this. This one's called Always Love You. Oh, wait, we did this. Let's see if it's been updated. Completely redid the vocals on this and restructured the end a little. New to vocals. I can't seem to get it. All right, let's do this.
Took too many pills, baby, I can't feel. How is life worth it if I never fucking heal? Wish you were here, baby, I'm so scared. Guess I'm gonna die alone, I wish you were here. Baby, I know it's selfish, I'm sorry. Convince myself that you're better off without me. Please don't cry, I promise it'll be okay. Starting to feel my body drift away. Sorry for everything that I put you through. So just remember that I'll always love you.
All right, going back to the main vocal section.
Yeah, baby, I'm so scared. Guess I'm gonna die alone. I wish you were here. Baby, I know it's selfish. I'm sorry. Convince myself.
Feels better that you've backed off of the vocoder as find a halfway point between. Before it was a little too heavy. Now I feel like you could have just a little bit more, and then it would feel a little bit more balanced with the digital telemetry stuff happening. And then the other thing is watch distorting the sub frequencies. It feels like maybe they're still getting rubbed up in this. Syndromic says, Lovington Vaughn, very loud is calling. Planets are being distorted. It is pretty loud. Those would be the two things that I would say and try on this one. Crusoe likes your stuff, by the way. Crusoe, go check out all his stuff. It's wild. It's great. It's really good stuff. Saf, goodbye to you. You have a good evening as well. I really got to get into this next session. Ooh, our Techer chat. Patch. We're going to listen to this on the way out, you guys. Ooh, Martin says, I would add mag EQ on this or anything in the same type of EQ, just for flavor. Kyanide is a great name, isn't it? Isn't it? This is great outro music, by the way, Iron Imp. Love it. It's good stuff. As always, this is when I get to say nice things to you guys. Like, I appreciate you for hanging out and chilling with me on such a mellow Monday stream. And right now, let's go see... I don't know. Sketty? Something like that? He's working. Let's go see Sketty. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you in 2 days' time on Hump Day. It's a Wednesday, halfway to the weekend. We'll have fun. We'll make things. I'll see you guys on the flip. Peace out.